Okay, so a couple of years down the road, things are going pretty okay for you, uh, money wise.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a boat.
You're planning on buying one.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You don't, the reason that you haven't bought it yet is that you just haven't had enough time to do the research needed to do it. What with all the like personal appearances
Mhm.
that you've been making and all
I'm
the
al-
commercials that you've been filming.
I'm also not like a nautical nigga, so it's like I'm probably not gonna get on, get hurt on that boat. Probably not.
Right, that's the other thing is that you feel like you should buy a boat, even though like you really don't want one, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It's like a symbol.
Yeah,
Would you respect me?
right. And like you're actually planning on naming the boat Respect Me.
Mm.
And you
R-E-S-E.
yeah, and you tell people like, "Oh no, it's like ironic. I'm screwing around, but you are not."
No, no. Yeah, damn.
And so things are going pretty okay for you financially, and why wouldn't it be? Because a few years down the road, Carlton, you have become Mr. Wavy Lays.
Whoa.
So
Mm.
you've become like the face of the Wavy Lay chip company. You
Mm.
are doing personal appearances. You're still doing stand up, and you're starting to get like a lot more people coming out and stuff because of your notoriety. Notoriety, pardon me, for
Crazy.
for these commercials and stuff. Yeah.
Love
The
it.
way that you got it was you so you were like you had injured yourself. You hurt your shoulders. You tell people you hurt your shoulders carrying the weight of the world on them, but
Yes.
really you just like walked into a wall really hard.
I mean, yeah, way to the walk. Um,
Weight of the wall for sure. And so you're like, man, I really need to like get like my shoulders worked on, get them like massaged or something. And
mhm.
so you went to what you thought was a legit massage parlor, but it was not.
Ooh.
And so you kept trying to get the massage woman to like work on your shoulders, but she wasn't interested in your shoulders, my friend.
Damn, damn,
So
damn.
yeah, so you're a little like I'm not gonna lie. At first, for a moment you are slightly intrigued, but then you're like, this is too much, and so you kind of like you just quickly get up and you go, thanks, whatever. You pay, you leave, and as you leave, you saw that they had like complimentary bags of chips for you to take. So you grabbed a thing of wavy lace, and you walked outside.
Mhm.
And after you walked outside, you saw a car crash into the uh, massage parlor that you just came out of, and
Wow.
there's like a huge explosion,
Mhm.
and the explosion stops just like right in front of your face, like as close as it can get to you without hurting you at all.
Yeah, that's funny
Even
because the
yeah.
side would explode because so much oil in there. Yeah.
Yeah, the cleanup of this, just the oil alone, it takes several weeks. And so you're kind of just standing there shocked at the whole thing. And then you look down and you kind of forgot that you had a bag of wavy lays. And so you
Mhm.
look down and you go, oh, right, my wavy lays. And you open them up and you chomp into them. And someone happened to get that on camera. Like somebody was like filming the whole thing and they uploaded it. And it kind of goes viral. People are like, this, and like, there is the rumor, of course, that you were leaving the massage parlor after having been freshly, whatever. Um, and that's the rumor that you have to fight. But you, the video of you walking out of the massage parlor and then it exploding, and then you almost getting hit by the explosion, and then like remembering your wavy lays and eating them, it just goes viral. There's something about it that just touches the heart of the nation.
Like the orange ocean spray dude. I'm like him, but with wavy lays.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
It
And
will
so,
work off. parlors.
Yeah, so there's like a lot of the commercials do unfortunately like center around you in these these jack off parlors, and so like that part of it you're a little like maybe we can move on, and they promise okay cool like we'll move on from this, but the first like 8 or 9 commercials are you just like in a jack parlor eating chips, you know, and like being funny.
I like that. As
Yeah.
long as like, Christopher Nolan gets to do like I get like a Bay True Explosion one, I'm going crazy.
So they actually do that for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They get Michael Bay to direct a Wavy Lays commercial. And at first you thought you were being pranked, like when Michael Bay's people called you, you were like, no way, I don't believe that this is real because this is just ridiculous. It's a thing of you know, Michael Bay directing a thing of you in a Jack Shack, and then there's explosions and you're eating chips and all kinds of craziness. And so you
Yeah.
hang up. And so later that day, you walk outside your house, and like leaning against the wall is this guy, and you kind of like look over at him, and he goes, "Hey, Carlton, the name's Marcus Elementary." He hands you a business card, and
Okay.
it turns out that he works for Michael Bay. So
Okay.
he's like, "No, this is legit." So they actually did film, excuse me, a Super Bowl ad with Michael Bay and you in it, and it was artistically a very rewarding experience.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and you
Okay.
feel like you learned a lot about not just commercials because it is an actual. So what it is it's you in the Jack Shack, and it's you just like lying there, and you like sigh and you say out loud, "Another satisfied customer," and then like the doors kicked in, and like these like cop guys come in or whatever, and they're like, "All right, this is a raid," and then it's a commercial of you escaping this Jack Shack, and there's a lot of explosions, there's a lot of you do most of your own stunts, but there's several that you just unfortunately you just can't do, you know.
Mm.
Um, they're actually like one of the stunt doubles actually does die on set. He gets
Damn.
his he gets his head chopped off.
Damn. Damn.
But the commercial comes out really well. It wins an award. You guys dedicate it to the memory of the guy who died.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, I'm giving him the every award, for the filming of
Yeah.
Post Nut Savagery, the commercial Frito Lay thing.
His name is uh Charlton Wilcox's daughter.
Oh man.
It's the biggest coincidence in filming history.
So I'm not lying when I say I think a piece of me died. That's it's
Oh, you absolutely feel like a piece of used dead.
a piece of me just died right there, man.
Yeah, it did. But a week later, you like forget it ever happened. You're like, whatever, because you're on to bigger and better things. You know, you're Mr. Wavy Lays.
Yeah, man. I got boats to get.
And you are starting to, you actually are like, yeah, I need to take some time off. This has been like a really whirlwind year. This is
Yeah.
at the end of like a year long cycle. It's like, you know, it's like when commercials take off, they have to make a lot of different versions of them so people don't get tired of them. And so you just do a lot of them. They become big. You go on the road. You do all these different things.
Am I doing
You
shows inside Jack Shacks?
not real ones. No, they're
They
all
all,
like sets. Yeah.
yeah,
You've decided to kind of stay as far away from them as possible. Because if another picture comes out, because there's like memes about you and stuff, you know,
okay.
about like, you know, you and your supposed proclivities for these types of places. Not
Mm,
based in fact, of course, but just a hilarious misunderstanding.
yeah.
And so you do those. You have this year long cycle, and it's kind of coming to an end. And you're like, you know what? This has been a crazy year, but some I've got some money in my pocket.
Mm,
I've got a little bit of notoriety from this,
mhm.
you know. You think about all the actors who started off in commercials who went on to like big things. There's that guy. I'm blanking on his name, but he started off in those like Sprite commercials, and then he was a dude who was, he was in a Drumline.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he's, and there's people like that who they start off in commercials and they move on to bigger and better things. And you're starting to think like, because you're a comic, you can kind of, you're not waiting around for someone else to make stuff for you. You're making your own stuff. And
Yeah.
so, but you are worried about burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah. You actually, you've joined you've joined like a support network of other guys who are in like hit commercials who have to like film a lot, and they always talk about the burnout. There's the woman who is Flo from
Mhm.
Progressive is in it.
Yeah.
She's in it. That phone lady, I'm blanking on her name, who's people on the internet are obsessed with her. She's in it. There's all kinds of the guy who does the voice of like that honeybee or whatever for Honey Nut Cheerios.
Is that Ostrich from the insurance commercial Limu in it? Because
Absolutely, it's there.
okay, yeah, that guy seems cool.
Yeah. So, and he is actually. You guys, even though it's like it's a support group, and like you guys are technically it's part of like an anonymous network. You guys all hang out outside of it. You're supposed to be anonymous, but you're not really. You all know each other.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna see me with an ostrich hanging, and it's gonna be noteworthy. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it's ostrich. Anyway, yeah,
it's going to be a very noteworthy ostrich. So you're there, and it doesn't like it's not your whole life or anything like that. But you do go to this support group. It's called you guys call yourself the Commercial Kids. Uh,
ah,
yeah, but kids is spelled CIDS.
oh no,
So it's like like alliterative or whatever.
yeah, we're dumb.
The Commercial Kids, yeah. It's
Okay.
um it's a little tongue in cheek, but like not really. You guys do think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, some people have it tattooed.
Yeah.
Got you.
You're thinking about getting it, but you're also like whenever you're there, you always feel a sense of community with these guys. And whenever you guys go out together to bars or restaurants or whatever it is y'all like to do, bowling or whatever. Um, you guys went bowling one time and you've never gone again because so people took so many photographs with you guys. Like
Uh,
they weren't even trying to hide it. They're like, holy shit, it's Mr. Wavy Lays and Flo from Progressive, and they both suck at bowling. Holy shit. And you do, dude.
yeah, I do.
Sorry to tell you.
I'm ashamed to the Midwest. All right.
Really bad at it. It's okay. So, but whenever you're there, you feel like a deep sense of community with these guys, and you're like, yeah, I should get that tattoo. But literally, the moment you leave, you're like, so glad I didn't get that tattoo. Like that'd be so fucking dumb. C period C period. Like, what would you tell people it stood for? The commercial kids, kids with a C.
Oof.
And you try to tell them about that noteworthy ostrich, and they don't give a shit at all.
I don't give a shit at all about that ostrich.
So things are going good, and you have decided, for the past year, I've been kind of on the road on this crazy adventure, and you kind of want to stay at home. You kind of want to take it easy.
Okay.
You decide to invest your money in something that you have always said to yourself you would invest in if you ever started to make some like serious money.
Ooh.
So, that candy Sour Patch Kids?
Oh yeah. Don't I ever?
So you've decided to make your own version, kind
Ooh.
of
Let's.
Sour Patch Kids,
Okay.
except you're making them a little bit sweeter than normal. So they can't say, "Oh, you like ripped us off" or whatever, even though like you clearly did.
Hmm.
But there's nothing anyone can do.
No.
And so what it is there are these gummy like treats
Okay.
that are in the shape of people.
Oh,
But yeah, so so you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely because you had a dream one night of you had a dream that you were are you familiar with the myth of Sisyphus?
no.
It's that guy who I forget why, but for whatever reason, the Greek gods make him like roll a stone up a hill, but then at the end of the day, like this, it always falls back down, and he has to do it day after day. It's like a punishment or something, I guess.
Damn.
So you had a dream about that, except the gigantic rock that Sisyphus is like moving up is made completely out of like the most colorful gummy treats that you've ever seen in your fucking life.
Hmm. Hmm.
And when Sisyphus noticed you watching him, he turned to look at you, and his eyeballs were gummy snacks too,
Hmm.
and they looked even more delicious. And so
Yeah.
you woke up like salivating, and ever since then, you've always been like, I need to make my own, you know, the I need to make these my own version of these gummy dessert candies.
They're calling.
The gummies are calling.
They're calling,
Some,
man.
somehow you feel like they always have been too, like they've
Yeah.
always been there.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to really like tune into the right frequency.
I do have a gummy tattoo. That is a thing. Yeah. I would, yeah. Because I knew not the CC people, but the gummy.
No,
I knew.
you did. You got like a on your wrist. You got a it's like these two gummy guys, and they're like high fiving each other. And instead of like where there'd be a sound effect that says like slap or whatever, it just says friendship.
Yes, I mean, this is a value that I hold. That would be in my life.
You look at it every day, and you never regret it, not for a fucking second.
Well, man, that's why I hate that people think I'm about jerk shacks, man. Look at my wrist. Like I got friendship, guys. Like this is what I'm about. You think I'm jerking with this thing?
Absolutely not. You're looking at gummy treats.
Come
And
on.
so you start the process, you start doing your own research, and like you're the one making it. This isn't something that you're like investing in something else. You've been doing a lot of research. You feel like you've been doing research for this your entire life, you know?
Okay.
And one night you you're trying your latest batch of gummies,
Hmm.
and they taste they taste pretty, you know, they taste okay. And you're like,
Hmm.
what are they missing? And so you kind of put them back in the oven or whatever,
Yeah.
that still warm oven.
Yep. Still. Yeah.
And suddenly it's like it's hit by like a strike of like lightning.
Hmm.
Like the lightning comes through the your window, um, and it strikes the oven.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the weirdest thing about like that was kind of strange. And you kind of to jump back. But what was even stranger is that when you looked over, the window is like repaired itself somehow. It's like almost like the lightning never was there,
I
but you
wow.
know it was.
I saw it. I felt it. I'm no stranger to catastrophes for my eyes. So that's how I got to Lays. Yeah.
Of course, of course. So you're kind of weirded out, but you open up the oven to see if there's any damage, and you see that these batch of gummies are as shiny and bright as the gummies that were in your dream.
Oh.
Lo, those many years ago. You've never forgotten what they look like.
No, yeah.
You have forgotten um, what some of like some dead people in your life. You've forgotten what their voices sound like, but you have never forgotten the color of those fucking gummy eyeballs of
Come on,
Sisyphus.
man. Hello, brightness, my old friend. Come on. I know that. I know what those gummies look like.
Of course, dude. So you try them, and these, it's perfect.
Mm.
And so you pick it up and you're like, well, how the hell, what the heck? And so the secret to your gummies is not only like a great recipe and dedication, but every time you make a batch of them, you put a like a lightning attractor thing
Ooh,
there.
yeah, yeah, like a little
Like
kite in
a
the
yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and like you feel like a modern day Ben Franklin as you do this.
yeah.
And every time that do it, every time lightning hits it, the gummies are this like, this powerful, bright, you know,
Mm.
fucking cacophony of gummies or whatever. And you are getting very excited about this.
Oh shit. Yeah.
You haven't started, so basically you haven't like started an official business or anything yet. You're just kind of testing out the gummy. You call them you mold them into shape of like people, and you call them the sugar boys. And so
Ooh.
you are you are testing out the sugar boys on people and some people you don't know. Like there's some people you just walk up to some people on the street and you're like, would you like a taste of sugar boys? And they're like, what? And you go, gummies, that is. And they're like, whoa. And so you are
Wait,
testing.
this is like in a package, not like loose out of my pocket.
No, no, you have like package mock-ups and stuff like that made. And they are like they're bright yellow boxes, and then there's a bag of the sugar boys inside. And you hire like a world-renowned French artist to design the cover.
Like that.
Uh, yeah, you pay him uh, $200,000 to do it.
Okay.
The day after he cashes the check, he's hit by a truck. So you end up just using AI.
Okay.
So you're like going up to people and being like, "Hey, you should try, the Sugar Boys," and people are loving it. And word is starting to spread around town. People are going like, you know, um, you might know him best. People on Twitter are like, you might know him best as Mr. Wavy Lays, but me, I know him as a gummy genius. And people are like, what do you mean? Mr. Wavy Lays is selling gummies? What do you mean? Interest has been piqued.
Wow. Off of Sugar Boys.
The Sugar Boys.
Mmm. Hell,
So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
one, you've been working on it for a little while, and
Right.
you go home one day and you see that there is a letter waiting for you. It's taped to your door with what appears to be golden Scotch tape.
Oh,
Do you pick it up?
pick that. I pick that. I pick it up.
So you read it, and it says, "Mr. Wilcoxon, uh, I'm a big fan your of your candy, the Sugar Boys.
Mm.
Uh, I understand that you've been working on this independently. I'd love for an opportunity to talk to you about a possible partnership. I think that we can do some really good things together." Signed, it's just two initials that are like in really fancy, really elegant cursive, just
Mm.
SK.
Mm.
And it says, "Come on down to Sausage Pete's. We can discuss it."
Mm.
You
Mm.
put Sausage Pete's into your maps, onto Google Maps, and it's a restaurant in downtown Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Would you
Mm-hmm.
like? Would you go?
Man, I take a minute, I ponder,
Yeah,
eat two Sugar Boys. I just say,
you
hey,
you do. You pick your two favorite flavors of Sugar Boy. Um,
and I tell you,
what what
let's
what
get it.
what would what are your two favorite like what are your favorite if you do eat gummy bears or Sour Pouch Kids or whatever, what are your two favorite flavors? Or do you even have any?
Man, I would go for Sugar Boys. You gotta get the peach,
Uh,
nail the peach flavor, and then maybe like a mango habanero.
so you pull out two peach and mango habanero sugar boys, and they are in the shape. One of them, the sugar, or sorry, the habanero one, is in the shape of an octopus with like a really scary face, and
Mm,
and the peach is in the shape of a globe.
like that. Yeah.
You pop them both in your mouth. Normally, you have them as just like not like generic people, but like for your own, the ones that you keep on your person, you have them in like exclusive shapes that only you can have.
Oh yeah, I like that. So yeah, with me now hopped up on some sugar, we're ready to go. I got a little sugar rush going. I'm down for it.
Yeah, you jump into your waiting vehicle.
Mm,
It's it's a white Ford Fiesta.
let's get it.
You jump in and you go downtown. You pull up to Sausage Pete's. It's like a Italian kind of spot, you know. You pull up and there's an outside area that people are dining at, and you can see that it's like the classic Italian spot. It's got the classic red and white checkered tablecloth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's bottles of wine. There's
Oh,
bottles of red,
real sexy scene. A lot of candles lit.
bottles of white,
Bottles of white, bottles of
and
red.
those candles are the only thing that kind of gives you a brief pause is the candles are casting like really scary shadows.
Oh, okay.
Other
That's
than that, it looks like a pretty solid place.
okay. That's fair.
So you there's a somebody waiting to park the car for you. Uh, he walks over. He's got a name tag. It says Parker, and
Mhm.
so he gets into your car and just kind of drives it away, parks it for you. You walk inside. The inside of the restaurant is a lot bigger than you thought it was going to be.
Oh wow.
However, it is completely all the tables they're set up for dinner, but all of them are empty except for
Mm.
one in the middle. And there's a guy sitting there waiting for you. And you walk over and you sit down. And what's your what's your wine of choice, Carlton?
Give me a Sauvignon Blanc.
So you kind of you sit down, and you look over, and you notice that there's a glass of Sauvignon Blanc waiting for you, and the bottle is open next to it, and it's your favorite, absolute favorite type of Sauvignon Blanc, the
Yeah,
one that like is your go-to when you're celebrating something big.
let's get it.
Shithead Jim's Shoebox Sauvignon Blanc is what it's called.
Yep.
And so you look down at it and you're like, huh, holy shit. And then you look up at the guy who's sitting across from you, and he is a kind of a striking. He's got a striking look, you know.
Mm.
He's got like orange stringy hair.
Wow.
He's got like a red clown nose thing going.
Okay.
But by far the most defining physical characteristic is that this guy is wearing the reddest suit that you have ever seen in your fucking life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
thought that the explosion that nearly took your life was a shade of red that that you had never seen before, and it was like the deepest red that you'd ever seen. But
Mhm.
this one puts it to shame.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
red. It's so red that the suit almost seems like it's like in motion at all times.
Hmm. Just a suit that's enraged. Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
kind of um, the kind of red that they like that would same color as the fire that they use to cook with in hell.
Ah, so
That
it's
kind
like,
of flashes in your mind for a moment.
okay, if I could be
Yes.
like 2 feet away from the sun, that's the kind of red I'm seeing.
Exactly. And he looks at you and he goes, "Hello, Carlton. I'm the Sugar King."
Yep.
And he goes on to explain to you that he makes he makes a lot of he has like a candy factory and stuff. And you've heard of his stuff, you've never sampled it, but he has a lot of candy out there. And
Mhm.
he is like, look, I know that you've got obviously you've done well for yourself with these commercials, but look, in today's market and the way that things work, you're going to need more. You're going to need a distributor. You're going to need someone who already knows everything. He looks at you. He goes, I mean, do you even know, like, for instance, like, do you know what the tax rate is on creating your own business in Texas?
Nah.
He goes, that's the thing. I already know all this stuff. He kind of like smiles. He's like, so anyway, what I'm offering you is if you give me the recipe to the Sugar Boys, and I will give you $37 million plus a plus 3% of what my company makes every year in perpetuity. He goes, how about this? Take a night to think about it. He goes, obviously, there's some legal stuff that we got to do, even if you just go, yeah, right away. So give it some time. Give a night to think about it.
Hmm.
He goes, anyway, what do you want for dinner?
I, man, what do I want for dinner? Some sugar boys.
So you just like pull out your own sugar boys and like start eating them, and you give some to him too. And you guys just kind of sit there eating candy. After like 5 minutes of silence, you're like, all right, well, you're like, all right, I'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you go home and you are pondering this the entire drive home.
Hmm. Hmm.
You go home, you before you go to bed, you look over at your latest batch of sugar boys. And for a moment you feel like they're looking back at you.
Yeah.
You go to sleep and you have a dream.
Damn.
In the dream, all of the world is on fire,
Hmm.
and standing the on top of like the ruined RBM Food Mart on
Hmm.
Manor Road is the Sugar King, and he's looking around at all the destruction and he's just laughing.
Man, that's a crazy place to stand on too. I do like that food.
Yeah, it's not that tall, so it's kind of an odd choice, but he and then you in your dream ends with like a bunch of sugar boys walking up to you and like they walk in a weird how back in the day in movies they would have like small like dolls that would like move around, but they'd be like herky jerky, like old Star Wars. Like they would have like these monsters that were like, but they moved really strangely due to the animation of the time.
Yeah.
Kind of herky, yeah, again, kind of herky jerky like that, kind of like frame by frame. That's how they walk when they walk up towards you, and they're as they walk towards you, all the sugar boys they start like decomposing and like rotting away. And the
Mm.
last thing that they say to you, all of them as they fall, the last thing to go is their face and their head, and the last thing that they say as they fall is "Don't do it, Carlton." Then like you
Mm.
wake up
Mm.
and you're like, "Huh."
Mm.
You're scheduled to meet again with the Sugar King that
Yeah.
afternoon to give him your decision.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Man, I do a no call, no show, and I eat my sugar boys at home. I don't even pick up the phone.
So you just like sit there, and for like the entire day, you're just shoving sugar boys down your fucking tight little throat. So you go to sleep that night. You do not dream. You wake up the next day, and like sitting in your room is the Sugar King
Mm,
in his suit. Even though you know that it hasn't changed, it looks even redder than it did before.
yeah,
You
no,
didn't think that was possible.
no, I didn't. Wow.
He goes,
God.
Carlton, I missed you yesterday. He goes, so what do you think?
And I'm like, nah, dog. How did you get in here?
He just laughs. He doesn't even answer. He doesn't even address it. He goes, look, anyway, so again, $37 million and 3% of the Sugar King candy empire. He
I-
smiles. He goes, I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Mm. And then I say, we will never know because you'll never get the recipe.
And he goes, he kind of like looks at you and he goes, you know, I admire that.
Mm,
He stands up. He's like, and who knows, maybe one day, a couple years down the road, we can do business.
man,
He
I,
goes, yeah.
I doubt that. I doubt that we're doing business, sir.
He
Sugar.
like he like smiles at you and he leaves. As he leaves, he sees a unopened box of Sugar Boys, like in your room on a dresser, and he walks past, and he goes, "Goodbye, Carlton," and he touches the box, and suddenly, out of the box burst like all of the Sugar Boys, and they all have murder in their eyes,
Mm,
and you kind of and you look at it and you go, "What the hell?" And they instantaneously, pretty much, show up in your bed, and
yeah,
they're all holding like sugar swords and sugar knives. And they
yeah.
all and they just slice your fucking throat. They hack at it until your entire head comes off.
I get it. I get it. You live by the sugar boys, you die by the sugar boys, man. And that's how I need to go out. Like I had a dream that made them. Of course, I get killed by them, you know?
Your body is found by Danny Goodwin, and he's
Mm,
like he's like, holy shit, dude. And then he sees like the recipe written down for Sugar Boys, and he goes, interesting. He like steals it, and he ends up making millions.
hey man. I wouldn't mind. Actually, no, I wouldn't mind because yeah, Danny ruined my election.
Yeah, he stole everything from you.
Everything from me. God
You're not even mentioned in the bio. He's just like, yeah, one day it just came to me in a dream.
damn,
Yeah.
damn.
Betrayed by Danny Goodwin.
Do I still get like a little memorial on Wavy Lays or no? It's too late now. Damn.
No, because you were found under such weird circumstances. No, they didn't, and they just kind of didn't acknowledge that anything happened.
Damn.
However, however, your family did receive a very nice card from a very noteworthy ostrich.
Mm, dang, that's what I do it for. It's just-
Yeah.
he was always like a brother to me. Signed Limu.